THORSwap has just launched THORSafe, which is a multi-sig wallet interface for securely managing your THORChain assets. This can be used to improve your personal security or manage a wallet with a group of people by requiring more than one signature to move funds. So this might be used for a group running a THORChain node or a group that wants to liquidity pool together, really any sort of higher security scenario where you might want to require more than just one signature. You could set up, say, a 2 out of 3 where there's 3 members and 2 signatures are required to move funds, or a 3 out of 5, really any combination that you want. So this tutorial is going to walk you through how to set up a THORChain multisig using the THORSafe interface, as well as submitting transactions that are signed by multiple parties on that multisig. To enable THORSafe, you'll have to turn on THORSwap Pro Mode, which you can find in Settings, Pro Mode, and then Show Multi-sig Wallet. Then you'll find the link right here. If you're not familiar with what a multi-sig wallet is and you want some more info, you can also check out our Medium article and THORSwap docs in the video description below. For this example, we'll set up a 3-party multi-sig, so 3 different wallets that are controlling this multi-sig address. And I'll be playing the part of all 3 people, so this would, of course, be 3 different people if you are managing this with others. But the first step will be that each party needs to have a key store wallet, and you will need to collect the public keys of the members that are involved. So if you or any party first needs to create a key store wallet, you'll just go up to Connect Wallet, and you'll see Create Key Store right here. And you just need to set a password for your key store. This is going to be what is used to decrypt the key store file. So anytime you are signing something from your key store wallet, you have to upload your key store file and input your decryption password. So now we're just creating this, and you'll just save the key store file. And that is how you would create a key store wallet. So now let's collect the public keys so we can set up our 3-party multi-sig. So first off, I'm going to connect my key store. So going to connect, choose file, and this one is Chad. And we will decrypt that, and then this wallet is connected. And here it says your wallet's public key, and this is what you will need to copy and collect from each party. So you would need to get the other people to connect to the same interface and share these public keys with each other. So for this example, let's now be person number 2, and let's connect our next person's key store. So this is Chris Hemsworth, and we'll see the public key right here. And our third one, let's connect wallet. This is Satoshi. Chad, Chris Hemsworth, and Satoshi make a multi-sig. So let's do this as if I'm just doing it from Chad, and these are 2 other people that I am communicating with. So let's go to Create New THORSafe, and you can set a name for your THORSafe. This is not stored by THORSwap or any third parties. This is just for the file that is going to be created and stored locally for you. So THORSwap demo. So this first public key is my wallet that is connected. So this is the Chad one in this example. And then I have to collect the public keys from the other members involved. So now I'm going to text Chris Hemsworth and ask him for his public key, and he's going to send me this. And because I'm the one creating this as Chad, I'm the one collecting it, and I'm pasting his public key here. And I'll add another member, and then Satoshi is going to send me over his public key. And we'll put that there, name him Chris Hemsworth. And now we have the 3 members that we wanted to add. And you could definitely add more than this if you wanted to. This is just an example where we're setting a, let's do 3 out of 3 for this example, just so you can see the process of needing to sign the transaction from all 3 people. But you could set up a 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, any combination that suits your particular security needs. So we'll click next here, and we'll see our THORSafe has actually already been created, and now we have a public THORChain rune address for this multi-sig wallet. And this JSON file is what you are going to be sharing with your fellow members to connect and use this multi-sig. So let's export and save this demo THORSafe. And let's go ahead to review it. And to activate this THORSafe wallet address, we just need to send in any amount of rune just to get it started. So from my current connected wallet, I'm just going to send 1 rune to the multi-sig wallet address. So I'll send that. So now that our multi-sig is created with the 3 people, let's actually go ahead and use it. So now on the multi-sig page, it's already showing my THORSafe wallet connected. That's because I just created that JSON file and it is still connected. But just for sake of the example, let's say we're doing this in the future and we're not. All you'd have to do is from this original page where you're creating, or in this case, you'd be connecting an existing THORSafe, you would be uploading your JSON file that we got when we created it. And so this JSON file needs to be shared with the other parties so that they can also connect. And just like that, it's connected, and we can see it has the 1 rune balance that we sent over, and the signing threshold is 3, meaning all 3 parties in this case. So let's create a transaction. In this case, we're starting a new transaction. For the other parties, they will be importing a transaction that is in the process of collecting signatures. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But for right now, let's kick off the start of this new transaction. So you do have to identify which parties will be signing the transaction. In this example, all 3 of these parties are signing the transaction, but let's say there was a 2 out of 3. We can't just say any 2 out of 3. We have to specify it's going to be, let's say, it's going to be Chad and Satoshi are signing this transaction, or it's going to be Chris and Satoshi, or Chad and Chris if it was a 2 out of 3. So we do have to specify which signatures are going to be looked for. So again, we're doing a 3 out of 3, so you can see the process of having to sign from multiple different wallets, and we'll click next. And now you'll see transaction type. So a send would of course just be for sending rune from one address to another. There's also node actions. So this is for bonding to a node, unbonding, or leaving. There's also depositing into a liquidity pool. There's also withdrawing from a liquidity pool. And there is custom deposit. So this is a more advanced feature if you wanted to set up your own custom memo for some particular use. So for this example, let's say that we are all signing to bond a node together. And these steps would be the same whether we were just sending, depositing, and so on. But for this, let's go through the process as if we are bonding a node together. So we'll input our node address and we'll bond 1 rune for now, just as a test to make sure it works before we bond our hypothetical hundreds of thousands of rune, right? So let's go ahead and click bond. And now we can see it is pending, missing signatures, required 0 of 3. So we're waiting on signatures from Chad, Chris Hemsworth, and Satoshi. So now I, as Chad, can sign the first transaction. My key store is already connected, so I am signing from my Chad connected key store right now. And from here, you have to export the transaction file containing the signature. So at this step, we're exporting a new JSON which contains the signature from Chad. And this is what's going to be passed along to Chris Hemsworth, and then Chris Hemsworth will make it go from 1 signature to 2 signatures, export a new JSON file, and that will go to Satoshi to do the final 3rd signature. So let's export this JSON file. You can see that it says signed Chad right there. So we'll save that and click next. And you'll see it won't let me broadcast the transaction because it's saying you do not have all the required signatures. Pass on the transaction JSON file 1 at a time until all required members have completed signing. So now I would share this file to another party. So in this case, let's say I have just emailed this over to my friend Chris Hemsworth. And now I'm switching tabs and becoming Chris Hemsworth. So I'm going to connect my THORSafe, and I will upload the THORSwap demo JSON THORSafe file that we created in the beginning. And the name is just for your own purposes. It's not required to connect it. So let's connect. So I'll go to create new transaction. And now instead of creating a transaction, I'm importing a transaction. And now I'm importing the transaction JSON to continue the signing process. So here I will upload the signed Chad. This has 1 of 3 signatures so far, and I'll import this transaction. And now it's showing that it already has 1 of 3, and I need to sign the second transaction. And keep in mind, I am logged in with my Chris Hemsworth key store wallet right now. So now I'm going to sign as the second person. And once again, it is going to prompt me to export this signing in process JSON file. So I'll export this. And now you'll notice the naming convention says signed Chad Chris Hemsworth. So this is the 2 out of 3 already signed file. And I'll click next. And once again, it's saying you do not yet have the required signatures required to broadcast this transaction. So now you're at 2 out of 3. You need to send that 2 out of 3 file over to Satoshi, and Satoshi is going to add on the final signatures. So now I'm going to switch tabs and become Satoshi. I already have my Satoshi Key Store wallet connected here, and I'm going to connect existing THORSafe, upload the main THORSafe JSON, connect, create new transaction, import transaction. This time I am doing the 2 out of 3 signed JSON and click import. We'll see that it's 2 out of 3 signed, just waiting on the last one. And I'm going to go ahead and sign this as Satoshi. So now the required signatures are all there, so we can officially submit this transaction from the THORSafe Multi-sig THORChain wallet address. So that's what we're going to do by clicking broadcast. And you'll see the transaction is broadcasted. You can follow this link to track it on ViewBlock, and you're done. You've collected all the required signatures, passed along the JSON file, and broadcast your transaction. So same exact process for adding to LPs, withdrawing, bonding, unbonding, sending, and so on. So hopefully this new feature is really useful for you for a variety of different use cases. And if you ever need additional help with this, you can always head over to support, jump into the official THORSwap Discord and chat there, as well as open private support tickets for 24/7 help. So that's THORSafe, and good luck with your THORChain multisigs.